Peace, family. It's your brother Ben X. You about to go live with the sister who said that the minister was wrong, and she's so-called exposing him about the Million Man March. So we're gonna go live. So as y'all can see, those are her comments there. He's wrong, and I called it out. So, and you talking about just bring her home? She got to come in first, Kissing Case. So just hold your horses. Now I know you amped up and you in defense mode. You got your full armor on, but she got to come in first for me to bring her on. Now if I can magically just bring her on, that would be cool. But there's a process, so just be patient, okay? Just be patient. I know you got a lot to say. You've had a lot to say, so we're gonna have a civil dialogue. Okay, so she said the truth hurt and the minister has been exposed. Well, let's see. I think this is gonna be a interesting dialogue, solution-based dialogue. Man, where's my You said when she was here, you didn't bring her home. I'm not sure what you mean. This is my first time coming on here live after that. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. No, I ain't necessarily about to cook. I just want to hear her perspective. I want y'all to, see her perspective live. And I strive to be fair, so I'm going to give her a chance to respond. But this Kissing K person, now listen, relax, Kissing K, because I will block you now. Now you can say what you want to say about me blocking you, but I ain't been respectful. I ain't called no names. So all that you doing in the comment section, listen, just relax, okay? The last live I just did, that was pre-recorded. So I actually was not live. That was pre-recorded. So you talking about last time you didn't bring on all this here. Listen, just relax. Be patient. She gonna come on whenever she requests to come on. But all that talking spicy in the comment section, ain't nobody even, got like that with you. You can be blocked. So if you want to tune in and watch it, just relax. Because I ain't got like that with you. So don't start all the accusations. Where you should have. Well, you push it. Well, let me go and block you out the matrix then. Now you want to talk. Let me go and remove you from the live and block you out the matrix. Now you done been blocked out the matrix. So you won't get caught in the matrix. Now you out the matrix. But I got time for this smart talking. We trying to have a civil dialogue. Now you got to she got to come on now. Her name is JP. Now, Uncle, I don't know if you meant my baby now, Uncle. What's your name? Uncle Stepdaddy. Now, come on now. You finna get blocked too calling me baby now. Damn. Y'all need some rest, man. I'm talking about my baby being. Come on now. Come on. We not gonna do that. No, we not gonna. Maybe that was a typo. We not gonna. I don't know her name. Is it JP Wrights? But she gotta be in the live for me to invite her up. She has to be in the live. Let me see. It's JP Wrights, I think, poet. Let me see. JP Wrights. She got to be in the live, y'all. Even if I invite her, she has to show up. I just DM'd her and said I'm about to go live. She kept asking me to go live. So I'm live. Somebody tag her, y'all. If y'all know her thing, just tag her in the what's the name? For y'all who JP Wrights Pub. Tag her in the what's the name? He said, "Boy, IG pub." Okay, cool. I knew it was a typo or something. Okay, yeah, you gotta put the @ You gotta @ her, y'all. Put the @ J. If y'all tag her, she'll see it on her side. But I don't see her name when I'm trying to invite on here. I don't see her name. Yeah, she asked me, she was like, well, because so here's the thing. I reached out to her and I was like, hey, I don't think you understood my full podcast. Because I'm like, the way she was responding, I don't think she was like, I seen it. I think you misconstrued. So I'm like, well, we can do a show next Tuesday. Because I wanted to do like a show like I did last night, not an IG live. I want to set it up, you know what I mean? I want to have videos. I want to be able to really have a real good conversation. And so I, like I always do, I stream whatever I do on YouTube on my Instagram. So I'm streaming it on my Instagram, and she's in the comment, oh, why you talking about next week, but you streaming now? So I'm like, listen, all right, man, let's just go live now. I was trying to do it properly, do a real production, a real show where we can show stuff. But she like, well, let's do it, So I said, man, we can go and get it out the way now. You know what I mean? I was trying to, do a real, have it looking good, but it is what it is. So hopefully she shows up, because she was very adamant that I was misconstruing her words. But I don't know why she's not showing up to the live. This is weird. JP Wrights Pub. Let me try to invite. Let me do the invite thing again. Okay, there she go. Now she just joined. There we go. There we go. All right, let's see here. So for y'all who need context, well, let me first start with this. Let me show y'all her video first. This is what people sent me a couple weeks ago. Before I bring her on, I'm going to give a full, we're going to bring y'all all the way up. So let me show y'all the video, her video, just in case y'all haven't seen it yet. This is what people were sending to my DM. I saved it, and I ain't have time to do the production. I like to do a real podcast until yesterday, but I've been had the video saved in my phone. So here's her video right here.
And Farrakhan, while you sit here speaking, let's bring the Million Man March back. But better yet, let me tell you how to fix it and make it more effective. Let's go out in droves and say what y'all did when George Floyd died, and we have everybody banding together with Black Lives Matter. But this time, when it's 5 million or 6 males coming together, every single person, I don't care if it's a child, it's 5 years old, and it's a 10-year-old, 15-year-old, a 30-year-old, 50-year-old, every person bring $1. You know what that's going to be every time we do these Million Man Marches? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 million, depending on how many million show up, and build our own damn community. That's a start. Farrakhan, since you got all this power and your whole system is working over there, let's put it all together. Action, not words. Farrakhan, while you sit here speaking, let's bring them in.
That's her thing, right? And so while I was streaming my podcast, she said this, yep, he was wrong, and I called him out. So she's saying, I guess, somebody wrong, either the minister or me, I'm assuming. Then she says, nobody envying a damn thing. This is in response to what the minister was saying years ago to those who had a response about the Million Man March. So she's saying nobody's envying a damn thing. Truth hurts. He's, speaking of the minister, has been exposed. Okay, so that's the context. That's where we are. So let me go ahead and bring her up now. If you can comment, sister, so I can see you, though. It's, I gotta, if you comment, I can bring you on. I saw that you joined the live, so I did see you come in, but you gotta comment so that I can see you, so I can bring you up. Just say here or press 1. Okay, never mind, I see you.
How you doing?
Blacktastic. That's new.
Okay,
yourself?
I'm great. I'm sorry, I got little ones. I have a soon-to-be 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. So.
Okay, cool. All right. So, as someone who strives to be fair, you said that I misconstrued your words in your video, and so I just want to give you your chance to respond and share how I misconstrued what you said.
Well, in reference to your podcast, that's where I said you misconstrued me, because I watched your podcast this morning. Someone sent it to me. I didn't know that you even did a post on me until somebody sent it to me, because you didn't tag me. So I was unaware. And so when I got it, it wasn't until 10 o'clock last night. So I wasn't able to stream your YouTube. So I watched it this morning. And so in doing so, all the, I guess, the points you were making, and given that Farrakhan was responding according, even though his speech is from like 30 years ago, but respond to what I said, that's why I said you misconstrued my message in the first place. Now, we have to be frank, and we have to be honest, and we have to be fair. Farrakhan has been speaking for 60 years. That's a fact. He's been speaking and trying to get...
Hold on. If we can stop, because I don't want to move past that. I want to make sure that we get in detail. Now, when you say the podcast, what I played a message from the minister,
no,
that's what I misconstrued.
Like the spirits,
explain what you mean?
all the things that you were saying, your responses you were saying on your YouTube about what I had to say first before you even brought in the minister.
Got it.
I'm sorry.
Can you give me an example of that? I want to address it head on.
Okay.
Give me an example of what I said. That
was a lot being done. You know, in the research, people not researching, not looking into stuff. I'm paraphrasing because I'm not doing verbatim. You want to go and look at your podcast and do verbatim and do bits and pieces. We can do that, all day. And then about, you got to get your spirit aligned and this, that, and the third. All these things that you were saying. And I'm like, okay, go ahead.
I address that. Since you don't want to do the verbatim, right. I'll say it. So, got it. So, I'll start with the first one you said about things being done. What I said was, in the minister's time when he was building, he did do those things. He's nearly 90 years at this point. So what I stated was he had several schools. It was several businesses. He bought back the land. The books that were sold, he got that back. He's funded organizations. There's organizations that have said this. There's people who have said this. And I said, there's things that has been done. Do your research, because if we minimize him to only talking, it only shows our ignorance. That's what I said about number one.
Can I address that?
Huh?
Sure, and for people in the comments, refrain from doing that, because y'all quick to call a black woman angry or have a nasty attitude. I don't have a nasty attitude. If my demeanor is giving you that, I apologize for that, but I'm just completely blunt and honest and straight to the point. I don't like to teeter around, the topic. But with that being said, let me respond to that. Okay, so you said these things have been done in the past, right? Now, we have to look at where we are today, right? 60 years later, right? And when we do look in our communities today, what do we see? The Asians have their own plazas and complexes and businesses amongst themselves. If you go there, every single business will be by them and ran by them and worked by them. You go into the Mexican communities and every city, and this is every state. You can go in every major city of every state, and this is what you see. Mexicans have their entire community. They literally have the entire plaza, and every business inside that plaza would be them. Also, the complexes will be owned by them, ran by them, and lived in by them. When we go into our cities, that's not the same for them. We live amongst them. We shop with them. You understand? We don't have those to show. So don't get me wrong. I have been reached out. This clip is from November. Okay, this is an old clip. This has been circulating for months. Okay, so people have reached out to me. Hereafter Farms reached out to me and said, well, we're doing this, sis. And they said, well, can you be with us? I said, no problem. And I sent them an invite to let me know when. Never heard anything back. And then mind you, they're doing it in a rural area. We live in the inner city areas. You understand? Like I was just telling somebody, before you sit here and judge based on what I said, because you felt like I was coming at the minister disrespectful, which I don't feel like I was, but if it came off that way, that's my apology. But I'm like I said, I'm passionate about what I'm talking about because I've been seeing it, I've lived it, I understand it. You understand? And I want to see change for my people. So my thing was, listen, you got power. And when I said power over there, I meant he had power with the Nation of Islam. You understand? You got your power amongst your group of people. But when it comes to the entirety of the Black community, that power structure is not over here with us. We need to build it together, because the reality is when the Million Man March happened, there were Blacks outside of the NOI that contributed to it. So therefore, they should be able to benefit from it as well. And that was my point. So go ahead.
Hold on. Okay, I gotta stop you right there at that point.
Right.
First, let me say, I agree with everything that you said about the Asians having their community, Mexicans having their community. I do have a point I want to make about that, but I don't want to cut your whole thing out. But I do want to, this part when you said people outside the Nation of Islam contributed so they can get a part of it.
I said they should be a part of it. Basically, the proceeds, whatever was donated or whatever, the Black community, it shouldn't just be to the Nation of Islam. You understand? It shouldn't be just, oh, we're going to put it in our farms or in our land for our members. It should be all people of the Black community. You should report into your, and we see results.
Listen.
This is what I keep saying. That's why I said rhetoric versus results. And this is what the Black community problem is. We constantly are hearing this talk, rhetoric. But there's no results to back it up. And I'm saying it's easy as done. If we get 1 million people, and I'm not talking about 1 million in Washington, D.C., because when you asked me about you spoke about, oh, well, figure out your blueprint. What is your blueprint? Well, I'm going to answer.
Sister, hold on. I want you, listen, I'm trying not to cut you off. I want you to go in detail, but we gotta have the facts as well. So I want to stop you again. When you say the proceeds, it go to y'all farms, it should go to everybody. Sister, where does the proceeds go?
Look, according to my little research that I've done so far, I know that they have their own compound in Chicago that's just NOI, and they would say that's similar to what they said with Black Lives Matter when they bought the mansion and they living all fancy in a nice little home over there in Chicago. So is that not where some of the proceeds went?
Sister, listen. Okay, so this is the thing. This is the problem that I have, right?
Okay.
I'm going to answer it. So if you do a simple, you say you researched it, right? If you do a simple research, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan had an audit done on every single dollar that came in from the Million Man March. Washington Post, who have no reason to lie for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, of course, even put out the audit. Do you know that the actual event?
Well, no.
Because
it was actually a day.
The amount that was needed, it was actually
okay.
It was not
I did my research on that. So it said that they spent 1.4 million, which I felt like was ridiculous. First of all, who plan was that? 1.4 million to put on the event. They end up getting back 1.9 million, but after other certain expenses, they only ended up with 245,000 in the green. So they were not negative. I did that research.
Where you get that from? What
that definitely I don't want to
where it said it was 200.
If I get my other phone, I can pull it up.
Okay.
All right, give me a second.
I want to get back to you fast. Can I go get
I'm like that too.
I'm gonna go
Hold on, y'all. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.
All right, here we go. Let's put it up, man. Let's get some actual facts here. Washington Post, Million Man March.
Hold on, I'm gonna plug up.
All right, so I'll show y'all mine. Mine is pulled up. All y'all have to do, if y'all want to find this article, type in Washington Post, Million Man March Audit. Click the first link. As you can see, Washington Post. Million Man March in debt, 66,000 according to audit by organizers.
I'm with you. I'm right here.
Story is here. You can also go on the NOI website where they have the audit.
I'm sorry, I was looking at this, not doing that. Okay.
All right. If you go to also, this looked like I never seen this one myself. This is a Chicago Tribune.
I think my daughter just woke up from her nap and she definitely needs me. Oh my God. Let's see. Hold on. Okay. Million Man March Report, OrlandoCentennial.com. That's one.
So this is Washington Tribune right here. 1 million men does not equal $1 million. And on this one as well, you'll go down. If y'all scroll down, I think the 200,000 that you're talking about is here. If it's true that only the 245,000 was collected, that's where that number came from. But then if you scroll down, the organization also has a 66,000 deficit.
Okay.
The financial statement says.
Okay, so we're definitely seeing two different things. Where are you getting that one from? So I make sure I'm in the same one.
So this is my first time seeing this one. This one is a Chicago Tribune. however you say it. I just typed in Million Man March audit. There's one for Washington
Okay,
Post, and there's this
so I
other one
have
from Chicago Tribune.
OrlandoCentennial.com, which speaks about the 245,000. We have App News, APNEWIS.com, which speaks about the total revenues were roughly $1.9 million drawn from various contributions in the sale of Million Man March paraphernalia. So was that in the audit, the paraphernalia they were selling as well? Because they made money off of that as well, not just the donations. So, and I don't want this to turn into, where did the money go 30 years ago? My bigger issue is this: even if we were to contribute now, you know, because y'all ask for donations from people outside of the NOI all the time. I always contribute. When I see the guys there with the bean pies and the newspapers, I always donate. I buy my bean pies, I get my newspapers, and I read them, right? And then you have people on the outside, on the internet, in the World Wide Web, that's donated to NOI.org all the time. Those people are not our members, but we're not seeing anything within our own communities we live in. And that's a question. And my thing was this: we don't want rhetoric no more. We want results. So the reality is, if we really were able to do this march effectively, not the way they did it back 30 years ago, where they spent $1.4 million, because it shouldn't have to cost us that much to get together. One of the problems that I saw with it, that's why I said I'll make it more effective. And when you asked me if I had a blueprint, I have one. I do. I don't just talk. I'm a researcher first. I look at things, I figure things out, and I make it make sense. You know, I'm not just somebody that's going to talk for clicks or clickbait. That's not who I am. So blueprint being this, there is roughly 18. Okay.
Hold on. Before you get to the blueprint now, I want to hit each point first and come on up, because I want to give you that time. But I still want to answer your question about where the money went. Only reason I want to get my thing, because in your statement it's like, well, if we gave money, the NOI, this is the picture that I feel is being painted. If not, you can correct me. Well, everybody gave money outside the NOI, and then you brought up, well, y'all got a compound in Chicago, y'all got this. Well, the outside should be a part of that. And in my mind, I'm saying that you're right. However, if there's a deficit, sister, that money from the Million Man March did not go to no land, did not go to the school. That's not where that money came from, because
that was 30 years ago. That was 30 years ago. And then I think they did a second one almost 10 years ago in 2015, if I'm saying that right. Right. So we're talking about 3 decades and then a whole another decade. So we got 10 years ago where they did another one, 30 years ago where they did one. And there is still nothing from, and mind you, this is not just from the march I'm talking about. People, like I said again, donate online all the time, every day, on the street. When we're giving y'all money on the street, that's going to somewhere, to something. All I'm asking for is for the people who give outside of the NOI, they don't choose to join as members, still should see that the NOI is in the community doing something for Black people and not just their members. And now, with that being said, hold on, you try to run me a real good one on your YouTube, so I want to clear that stuff up. Okay, go ahead.
But what I'm saying is, to be fair, the only reason I brought up the Million Man March part is because you brought that up. You brought up the money part, so that's why. So let's put a closure on this first. Can we agree that there is public information that the money that we're discussing about, there is
no, we don't agree, because you have one report, I'm seeing 3 different reports that say something totally different. So the reality is, listen, at this point, we're in 2023. I don't care about what happened in 1994. Hold on. No, I brought up Million Man March, right? That we should do another one. My whole video. We're not going to talk about what I just said right now. We're talking about the video that you use and you spin off and made a YouTube, and that's why we're here on live today. My video is about us doing another one. That was me reaching out to the minister like, hey, if we do it, let's do it more effective where it benefits everybody that looks like us. You understand? So with that being said, you asked me if I had a blueprint and not just talk, because you said I was just a talker and I didn't have a blueprint. Okay? So with that being said, the difference is I would never just do one city. I would never tell all the people to fly, to buy money for hotels, to spend all this money to meet in one city, okay, to figure that out. That's something that I would not do. There's literally between 18 major cities, 1 to 3 million Black people in each one. Literally. In Atlanta alone, there's 3.3 million Black people here in Georgia, in the state of Georgia. And we was to put a march together in just Atlanta, the outlining parts of Georgia,
Savannah, and whatever name you, if you want to name a few that's out of there, Augusta, all of that can meet us in the middle of Atlanta and pool our money together. That's 3.3 million in one city at one time that did not cost people thousands of dollars to travel to. Then we go to Texas. Texas is another one that has 3.3 million Black people in it. And we pinpoint something that's in a center that does not take a lot of time for people to get there and would not cost them a lot of money to meet together, then we can get that 3.3 million too. We can literally put together 18 marches on minimum. Mind you, that's outlining cities. So all of these major cities that have 600, 400, 500,000 Black people in it that can meet together. We can put together an 18-city million man march tour and be collecting 3 million from this state, 3 million from that state, 5 million from this state, 2 million from that state. Before you know, we have close to $100 million in 1 year. If artists can get on the road like Beyonce and go to different cities and make $80 million every city they sit in, we can make $100 million within a year amongst us and start putting that into our communities. That's a part of my blueprint. That's part of my blueprint. That's why I said make it more effective. That's the way you make it more effective, where you don't spend so much, but you intake a lot, and then you show people with their eyes results so they can believe in something. That's what I'm talking about. And if you're gonna ask me, if you're gonna go into, because I know people have asked me, I've seen a lot of comments coming from me, because you know you got a good little following base, so a lot of people are commenting.
Sister, okay, before we go to this next point, before we go to the next point, we have to address one point, close it out, and go to the next point. I try not to interrupt you. I'll let you go. So before I said this, if we're going to bring up something, let's bring it up, look at what the facts are, close it out, and then go to the next part. I want you to have as much time as you want to share your blueprint. But there is something that you said you wanted to address. I misconstrued something. The minister is wrong. That's what I want to address first. Then we get to the solution. So I'm still trying to get closure on this part about what you're saying should have been done with the money at the Million Man March, because if we let that slide, there's hundreds of people that may think when they see this, oh, well, damn, I didn't know they had this in Chicago. Dang, they use other people's money to do all this in Chicago. No, that's not true. So I have a post from Washington Post and I have a post from Chicago Tribune. This is your point that you brought up.
I don't want to
just
argue.
show your article where it says,
you can look it up, apnews.com. But I don't want to sit here and stay on an issue that's not going to serve us. You're going to have your viewpoint that says they didn't have any money. I'm going to have my viewpoint that says they did. And we're going to look at different reports on the internet, Google, that tells us something different. I'm asking, where are we right now? Because my message wasn't about what happened 30 years ago. My message was about right now. What do we do right now? You understand?
AP News, Million Man March organizers owe $66,000.
Okay, but what does it say that they earned?
This is AP News.
Look, read it. What does it say they earn? No, don't see. This is what I don't like about people who read headlines. Read the article. The headlines will lie to you.
Let's read the headline. All right. What part would you like for me to read? Or if you can read it on your side, that's fine.
I gotta pop up. Okay, so it says the march itself, which attracted between 400,000 and 1 million Black men and women to Washington, cost more than 1.4 million. Total revenues roughly 1.9 million, drawn from various contributions in the sale of Million Man March paraphernalia. The figure also includes $245,687 donated by participants on that day. So if I got that right, was it 1.9 million?
Hold on.
Wait, hold on. If I got that
read the
right,
next paragraph. Read the next paragraph.
Plus 245,000, or 240,000 left over. It says it leaves the organizers with a debt of $66,000, which said was owed to various vendors. Hold on. That was something that was owed to various vendors, some of who are awaiting final payment. Hold on.
Wait. I was talking. No, I was talking. Let's start right here because you asked a question. You said, what was this number? Was this in addition to? So I'm just clarifying. Total revenue was 1.9. That figure, which means the 1.9 includes the 245,000. Okay, now I just want to clarify that. Now let's start here. That leaves.
That leaves organizers with a debt of $66,000, which Chavez said was owed to various vendors, some of who are awaiting final payment. So basically, they didn't pay their vendors. They owe their vendors $66,000. Doesn't mean that they were in debt. They didn't have no more money left. They owe their vendors. They didn't pay them out of that money that they got. So that's what they were indebted to. They were indebted to the vendors. That's what they're indebted to. Not that they were in debt, but that they was indebted to the vendors. So they owed the vendors $66,000. Plus, they also promised to donate about 10% of the sum collected on a national mall, which amounts to about $25,000, saying that they didn't do that either. So they're saying basically they made $1.9 million and didn't pay the vendors nor donated like they promised. That's what this says. Okay, at that time.
Was the report
but I'm saying we're going to go back and forth on 30 years ago. What are we doing today? Okay.
All right. So let's close it now. Can we both agree that this article that you provided does not say it was?
No, this article says they actually had $500,000 in profit if you actually look at the expenses versus how much they brought in, and that they were indebted to vendors because they never paid them. This said they didn't pay two people out, almost $100,000 out of the the $500,000 of their profit, because it was $1.9 million that they received with paraphernalia and donations, and then they had to pay out $1.4 million, which were left them with $500,000. And out of the $500,000, they never paid the vendors or gave their $25,000 donation. So they had more than enough money to get it and still leave with $400,000 left. They did not do that. That's what this says. So we're gonna move on. Because it actually makes them look worse. This article makes it look worse than what I thought it was. The fact that you owe debts to people, that don't look good, especially when you had the money. Where are we going now?
If you go here,
we're gonna stay on this topic, or we're gonna get to the solution.
This is a itemized.
Where is that from?
That actually includes the balance sheet. If you go to NOI.org/Millionaire March financial audit.
I'd rather not. No
okay.
No shade, but I'd rather not.
That's more detailed than the article.
Okay, y'all.
So this is actually literally the
numbers.
I
get y'all. They didn't raise as much money as they could have raised. I get it. It was only about, what they said, roughly about 800,000 people really showed up. It really didn't mark 1 million. But cool, they didn't raise as much as they could have raised. They didn't make as much as they could have made 30 years ago. We're in a different time now. The Million Man March could be done very differently and definitely attract. So let's get back to my point about me saying going to different cities, different states, where it's a lot of us and garnering this money and using it appropriately and not spending out 1.9 million to put out our march together. There's a lot of things that they messed up on.
And so how much
in anything.
In your blueprint, how much does this cost?
Go ahead, what?
In this blueprint, how much does it cost to do these marches with millions of people?
At one place in Atlanta or whatever city we decide?
You said three. You said because some of these cities got, or states, right, whatever, got 3 million plus, right?
Hold on.
How much does it cost?
Let me close this door for a second. What you do to your sister, buddy? What you do? Don't mess with that light, okay? Do me a favor. Okay, so in Washington, what they did was they got all these hotels and different things like the expense to get all the paraphernalia, everything that they had to do. It cost them a lot of money. We don't need to have paraphernalia. We don't need, it's certain things we do not need. All we need is a meeting place. And you can rent out a meeting place, give or take, maybe for a couple of $1,000 if you're doing it for 3 days, if you decide to do it for 3 days. But people got to remember, Million Man March doesn't mean that 1 million people have to show up and present. Like they had 800,000, and that created a big marker that, oh, Black people can get together and do something, right? It's the notion that we want to meet in one place is just to show them that we can come together collectively. Part of that 3 million don't have to show up. It could be 1 million that show up, but we could still end up getting 3 million in that state. The point is not to spend out more than we're receiving in. You understand? Make it make sense. Like, and we're going to stick on this topic first, then we're going to move on to the next. But if you come to the city of Atlanta, I'll just pick Atlanta, because Atlanta seems to be the new Black Mecca or something or whatever. And you were able to rent a hall, right, in Atlanta. And I know some politicians and people that work in City Hall here in Atlanta, so that could easily be done. But we just said we had to rent it, right? It would be roughly about $3,000-$4,000 if we decide to do that, right? And in a hall.
Hold on, wait. It's going
to rent the hall that we were meeting. Like if we were to get a big hall. No, you don't need 1 million people. See, this is what I'm saying. Again, we have parks. We have all kind of, like You were saying things to me as if you don't know
I'm
how
just
they met at
asking.
Washington. They didn't meet in a hall, but they had a meeting place. You got to have a meeting place. This is where all the organizers got to come together, talk, get ready for all the people that's going to show up in the influx. So even if we choose a park, let's just say, what's that biggest park? I don't think Olympic Park is that big.
Okay.
Centennial Olympic Park is not that big.
Meeting?
But let's just say we met in the park
meeting?
where they have most of these black people.
When you say we, who is we? When you say, like,
black
I'm trying to.
This is what we're talking about. We're not talking about.
Okay, so here's my question. Maybe you can help me out. So a hall, we run out for 3,000.
I'm not talking about the people don't meet at the hall. You have to have a meeting place, a hall. It just makes sense. You have organizers that have to get together, pass out. Look, this is who you're going to. This is the park you're going to be at. This is the park you're going to be at. It's the same difference when they throw shows here in Atlanta in the park. It's no different. People will meet at the park. That's the point. You don't have to rent the park. The park is the public.
So it's basically first come. So I'm trying to regurgitate it back so I'm getting it. So it's gonna be first come, first serve.
It's a park
because it's a limited amount. Because if we do it even if we do it at a park, it's still gonna be a
but
limit.
I'm saying to you, what I'm saying to you is they have
800,000
people show up to Washington, right? And where did they show up to?
The mall in Washington.
My son, y'all.
Over 800,000 showed up
okay,
at
so
the big mall
we find
in
something
Washington.
equivalent to that,
where they did.
right? Here in Atlanta.
And okay, how much does that cost? Like we gotta factor this in.
First,
that's not gonna be nowhere near $3,000 to $4,000.
You get your permits. You get your permits. One, two. There's a lot of things. I don't know if the NOI is a 501c3. Are they a 501c3? Are they a 501c3? The NOI. Are they a 501c3? Okay, so then we have to find somebody who has a 501c3, right? Because 501c3 get a lot of perks that a lot of businesses and stuff don't do because at the end of the day, it's a charity, right? And there's a lot of tax breaks for people who donate to those charities or allow you to use their services. You understand? So you make sure you have a 501c3 that's heading the entire thing. Okay, that's first and foremost. That way you can get all these things at a discounted rate. That's why I said the number that I'm saying, because I know that you can even get halls for free if you have a 501c3 here in Atlanta.
So let me respond. So let me give it back to you. Make sure I'm right. You're saying we get something like the Washington Mall. We need to get a 501c3, and we should be able to get that for around $3,000 to $4,000. That whole thing, including how it was, because if we sit way in the back, they have to have the big TVs because people way in the back can't see him personally. So you have to have the TVs that you got to pay for too, so everybody can see what's being said as well. We can get all that for less than $10,000.
I get you. Ask some questions. That's cool. That's what we're here for. I'm sure that will cost.
I'm only with girls because you said
but I just told you what that was for. So now you're trying to add something. So let's right. I told you what this could be for. Now you're adding something. So let's move on to that and what that may cost.
Yes, ma'am. So what is the cost? What will be the cost for that?
So therefore, you would have certain people in position. Like I'm in the entertainment business, right? So I've been in the entertainment business for over 10 years, right? So I have a lot of connections and people that I can connect with who will be willing to do me favors. That's just a fact. But for those who do want to check, it wouldn't cost me as much, especially when you have a 501c3. You get a lot of extra perks than you would understand if you knew that. So this is what I'm trying to explain to you. So therefore, you asking me all these extra expenses, right? And this it gets to the point where we will sit here and write all these things down and get the number just for Atlanta. There's going to be differences. There's going to be Chicago. There's going to be Texas. They're all going to cost different. And that's a fact. Okay? That's a fact. We're going to be able to do that. After about 30 years of NOI receiving donations, I'm pretty sure they can shell out about $10,000 so they can know they can bring in $1 million to $3 million. I think that would be okay. I think it would be okay.
Sister,
right?
Sister, I get you. You got to I get you. You got to throw your shot. I get it. I shot. Wow, got it.
You asked.
Now let's get back to the question. You stated that the mall, something like that, 800,000. Mm-hmm. That is what we're talking about. Something that is 800,000 people. My simple. I'm asking for a number. My simple question is about how much would that be. I'm just looking for.
I have reached out to them. I'm waiting. Let's be clear. I have. So I'm waiting. It's just like I reached out to the NAACP once. I'm waiting. It's a waiting game. It's not on me.
Why are you?
No, not
NAACP to get a number.
I was responding to a commenter. They said, "Well, why don't you organize this?"
Come on, We read comments while we talking. Come on, this me. They gonna say whatever they gotta say in the comments. We're gonna have trolls, all kind of stuff. My question is, this mall that you say costs $800,000. I'm just asking under a 501c3. You say this is how it should be done. You said you got the blueprint. How much would it cost?
If you want to put a spin on it, maybe roughly, maybe if we want to say maybe $20,000. If we're gonna say everything, everything you want to ask for, everything you want to ask for, the TV screen and the big stage and the microphone, $20,000. If we're gonna give me a roundabout figure.
How are you gonna say I'm putting a spin on it when I'm literally only responding to things you're telling me? How am I putting a spin on it?
No, I didn't say. I said no. I didn't. Okay, I'm talking about a spin on everything that I said in my video. Don't try to switch something else to something else. If you want to talk about what we talk about right this second, let's stick here. But you put a spin on my video. You said there was no spiritual component to it. I didn't do no research. I don't know what I'm talking about. We don't have no Black communities. That's a fact. I don't have to. Anybody can look around.
So now I have to stop you again because you just stated I said there's no spiritual component. So let me address what I actually said. What I said is when we come to each other, we should come to each other with the right spirit. And then I gave an example. Here's the example. I didn't use you. I said what I've seen in the past. I said, we'll look at somebody and say, you ain't got no school yet. You ain't got no restaurant yet. But instead, what I feel like we should say is, hey, man, you've done a lot in our community. But there's some things that I see you missing in our community, which is what you're saying and what you see. Instead of coming saying what we don't have, hey, I would like to help you guys implement systems on X, Y, and Z. Can I help you out with that? I said those two things are saying the same thing. What are they both saying? Hey, there's something that you're not doing. But one side is coming as if you've been here long enough. You should already have this versus, hey, I see you guys been here for a while. You guys have done some good. But there's some things that I see should be in place. How can I help you all? That's what I said in my podcast, that the spirit should be different. I didn't say anything about no spiritual component.
I apologize.
And all this
I got that wrong.
That you said.
Okay, so the spirit should be different. So me saying Million Man March, but this time when we do it, let's make it more effective than this is how. That's not me saying, I'm not going to sit here. What you asking me to do is pitter pat first. Hey, job well done. But this is how you can make it better. No. I'm not going to pat you on the back for doing minimal. I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to say to you is, look, let's do it again. But this time, let's make it better. Let's make it where people will stop talking about NOI and saying they're not doing anything for us, and let's show them how with actual results that breed actual results. I'm not with the stroke of man's ego. For what? If you had done what you were supposed to do, then yeah, I would be commending you and raising my and bowing down. Yes, have they got people off the drugs since the 80s? I commend that. Yes, but the reality is, have they gotten men out of jail and changed the way that they do? Because I heard you say that on your YouTube that they're not, doing anything when they get out of jail. They're recovering, and that a lot of that has to do with the minister. I've seen that. I understand that has to do a lot with the NOI, right? But the fact is, when they went into jail, they were coming from struggle. When they got out of jail, they went back into that struggle. Why not have them going back into a community that's filled with nice things? Then I hear Farrakhan, and I love the message about we got to love on each other and do this love meeting and all this other stuff. And I get that. I love that energy, but the reality is we all want to say, oh, this is going to make them feel better. We don't want to feel good no more. We want to actually be good as a community. You understand what I'm saying to you? What's the best way? Wait, hold on. What's the best way to feel good? Usually when you get your hair done, you got nice clothes and nice stuff. How do you think people feel? I'm just going to break it down. How do you think they feel when they look at their communities and it's run down stores and run down streets, and their kids don't have good community centers inside of there, and they can't get a great education and things like that? That brings down the mental. That brings down the spiritual. But if you change that, that will uplift the spirit. That will uplift the mental. I come from the projects of New York, and every time I go back 30 years later, it still looks the same. It's depressing. So what do you think our Black people go through every day? Y'all trying to get to their heart and their spirit, but this heart and spirit can't be right when they eyes see this. So we have to change what they see.
Sister, can I ask you a question?
In here.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? Why was the minister talking about a heartfelt message?
He was a little upset that somebody's asking him where the money went. It started there first.
No. It didn't start there. Why did the minister in his message, why was he leaning towards saying a heartfelt
Why
good
don't you
and talking
break
about
it down for me
love?
how you
Why was
interpret it?
he?
Because every time I say something, you'll say I'm wrong. Go ahead.
The reason that the reason that the minister was speaking about heartfelt message, the minister intention was not a heartfelt message. He was actually only responding to the question. If you heard the question, he said, minister, what do you think about people
Okay.
who called it just a heartfelt message? So the minister in his response was saying, well, hell, we need a heartfelt message. He wasn't saying that was the purpose or intention or the totality. He actually started to mention all the things that came from it. The only reason the minister kept harping on heartfelt message is because that was the way that the brother questioned him. So if we're going to talk about misconstruing, you kind of misconstruing what the minister is saying there. The minister is not saying, hey, y'all, this is a heartfelt message, and a heartfelt message is what's going to change our entire community. No, that's not what the minister is saying. And if you listen to my podcast, which is why I said I don't think you saw it, and you said you did, but what you're saying, did you hear me say, I'm not talking about your plan. I'm not talking about what you said as an idea to do better. I appreciate you for that. Did you hear me say that?
Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah, so I said that. So when you say I misconstrued something, I never addressed your plan. I said that's good that we have someone who wants to have economic progress. Oh, and by the way, I just want to address something for you guys because I did want to clear it up. I tried to share it on the NOI website, but I'm gonna just show y'all so y'all can, do your research because she mentioned that it was actually 500 in profit. I wanna show y'all some. This is AP News. Total expenses were approximately 2 million, including more 581 spent on management and administration. So it was 2 million in expenses, and total revenue was 1.9. That's why there is a deficit. So the expenses was over 2 million, and that's roughly 1.9. I just wanted to share that and clarify what those numbers was for you guys. So what I was saying when you was leaving was, when you talked about me misconstruing and there being a problem with doing it right, I'm in agreement. Let me first say that I'm in agreement that we should have some type of town hall X, Y, and Z about economics. But what I want you to realize, and what the minister has said decades ago, his mission, his duty, when you say he's wrong, because these are your words, he's wrong. His mission is to deliver a message. Now you can say, well, I don't agree with that. That's fine. But according to what God has put him on, his mission specifically is to deliver a message. Although, let me say this, although he has not just talked, he has built things. It's documented. And I said in my podcast, he can't manage everything. It's on us as people who hear. It's on us in the nation and outside the nation, which is why I also brought up, what about the million men who raised their hand and said, I'm going to take responsibility and go do it as well? So if you say the minister is wrong without saying all million of the men who also rose their hand and said that they're going to go back and build businesses is wrong, I think that's unfair. Because when I hear that, I'm saying, dang, we're going to place all the blame on the minister when a million men rose their hand. Why is it that the men is not called out about the condition of our community? Why our uncles not called? Why Pawpaw? Why we don't make a video about Pawpaw? Why we don't make a video about our daddy? That's what I'm saying. This is me talking, not the minister. This is me. The minister done gave me a word. I know what the word can do because I heard the minister word and I changed my life. Every community is changed by a family. Families is made up of, communities are made up of families. We all have the same 24 hours to hear a word and go execute a blueprint or don't execute a blueprint. So I always ask people, if you in a bad condition, if your community is in a bad condition, are you blaming the minister for your house?
Can I interrupt?
Are you blaming the minister for his house?
And that's what you got me misconstrued, because who said I was blaming the minister?
Okay,
Thank you. Who said I was blaming the minister? What I said was, and people can hear it again. the new people that came into the room who
All right.
might not have heard the message.
You said
Who
she
said
exposed
I was
it.
blaming
How
the
did you-
minister? That's what you got from it. That's not what I said at all. Never once came out my mouth that I blame him for our conditions. I never said that.
Okay, so let me ask this question, and I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna ask this question. Be quiet. When you said, yeah, I'm pointing out that he's wrong, and then you said, I'm just saying the truth. He's exposed.
We're talking about the video because that's how we got here. So don't try to go past what I said in the comments because I was responding to someone in the comments about something. So let's focus. Let's focus. Same thing you told me. Let's stick to this point
about
first, and then move on to the next one. Right?
Wait. But no, I'm.
Okay,
no, but you were saying that about the minister.
Yes,
though.
exposed. If you say, I'm gonna wait. You made 3 points. Let me go to 1 point. Can we close a point? Move on to a point. That was your point earlier, right? Okay, so one of the points you made is that he's just a messenger, right? He's supposed to give a message. So then would I be wrong by saying he's just talking? Because what a messenger do? Just talk, right? Wait. Okay, cool.
Yes.
All right,
yes.
cool.
Yes.
Then
at
that point, you agree with my video that he's all about talk and not so much about action. Hold on, you say he's a messenger. That was your words, not mine, right?
Wait.
Yes.
Okay, see now okay. No. Hold on. I gotta clarify this. I see where you're trying to go with this. Now, I said if all the minister did was talk, as far as his duty is to deliver a message. But that is not all he has done. So when you say that's all he has done, I have to say, yes, that's his duty. But no, that's not all he has done because actual facts, history, and many people can come and tell you what they've done. He's done more than talking. So that's why I say you're wrong. As far as his duty, yes, that's his duty. But as far as has that all he has done?
Show
that's
me
not true.
in the Black projects right now, right, where the community center is named after NOI. That the NOI contributed to it. That's their community center inside the Black communities. Show me one. No, show me one. No. So answer the question. Show me one. Is there one? Is there any one of those community centers in the middle of the projects by NOI that's funded by them, that's ran by them? Is there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Where is it? I'll definitely Google search right now.
And that.
Tell me where it is.
Here in that.
Where is it?
The mosque. Can I answer the question? All right. So, where the mosque is in Chicago are you saying that's?
I didn't say a church. I said a community center for the youth, for the kids, in the middle of the projects. Is there one? Yes or no? We have the YMCA. Yes. We have the Boys and Girls Club. Yes. Do we have an NOI club that's funded by them and ran for their Black children of those communities? Yes or no?
So you're saying
yes or no?
Okay. First I said yes, but I gotta answer the question. I already said yes. So you keep saying yes or no. I said yes. Now, are you saying that a YMCA and a regular gym is more effective?
Listen, answer the question, sir. Do they have one? Yes or no?
I already answered the question. In Chicago, what do you know? There's brothers that they have programs in the school. At Muhammad University of Islam, do you know brothers play basketball and they get off the street and they play basketball together?
Tell me where it is, and you tell me about a mosque.
Muhammad University.
Tell me where it is. I will look it up. It's not a problem. We got that. We both got our laptops right here. Just tell me where it is. There's a synagogue in the middle of the hood, but that's not a community center for the Black children. Where is the community center, sir? Do they have one with computers and with programs?
If I get
and do they have that? Yes or no? That's all I'm asking you.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know how many times you want to ask.
I can't. You want me to say the
Spanish C.
I guess they don't. Okay. We got you.
So if you don't understand that you saying, well, so if we had a regular, so basically what you saying is if we put a regular YMCA in that bad boy with a gym, because you know that's all
that's not true.
YMCA.
You know the YMCA has a lot of
only
benefits
thing we go to the YMCA for is play some sports. We go into the YMCA to play sports. So we had a place for them to play sports.
Oh, you've never been?
What do they do at the Boys and Girls Club? Tell me.
Okay, so they have computers.
No, I haven't.
They have the arts there. They have basketball teams there. They have all those things there for the children of the community. It's right there. They feed them. They feed them after school, as well helping with tutoring as well. And that's sitting right in the middle of hoods. And it's ran by the Boys and Girls Club.
And they have
What I'm asking you
right in
is,
Chicago.
you only talk about one city. You know, we black people are all over.
At the mosque.
Black people are.
That's what the mosque
over,
supposed to do. Like, it's like you're trying to disassociate it.
Okay.
You're trying to disassociate it because I'm using the word mosque. That's what the mosque is supposed to do. We have open FOI class where these brothers learn about manhood. We have open FOI class where these brothers learn about security. We have open class where we learn about self-improvement, rising above emotions into the thinking of God, how to handle difficulty, the God within. That defeats anything that the YMCA is giving us. I'm sorry. It may not be the Boys and Girls Club, but what they gonna learn in that class in self-improvement study group defeats and tops
so what
anything
I hear is that y'all
going
have
on in
big
the YMCA.
churches all throughout the country. Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. Understood.
If that's what you minimize it to, fine.
Yeah, mega churches. It's fine. It's a form of mega church, and that's fine.
If that's what you going, if that's what you minimize,
all around us that don't help us, and we get it. It's a mega church. We got it. It's okay. It's okay. I asked you specifically for something that's for the youth, for them to, or something in their hood, right there. And you tell me that it's a mosque in Chicago. You keep mentioning Chicago. Now, I looked it up. They said they got several mosques. Now, is this a part of the Nation of Islam? I'm not so sure, but I will look and make sure so I can find out a list of mosques you have. But as far as I'm concerned, those are mega churches, sir. I asked for community centers, sir. That's not the same. Okay. We have several Baptist churches. We have several synagogues in the hood. So we add the mosque to the mix. Those are big churches.
What is your Baptist church doing?
Okay.
What is your Baptist church doing?
I don't go to the Baptist church.
Tell me what your Baptist church.
I see them feeding the homeless all the time. I see them giving them clothes. I see it all the time here in Atlanta. I live in Atlanta, so I can only go by Atlanta, so I'm not in New York anymore. And they do it all the time. I haven't heard of it. I have never seen it in Islam out there. The only time I see them is newspapers and bean pots, sir. Okay? No, you were over talking me. I wasn't finished with my point, so I couldn't hear your question. You can't talk while I'm still giving my point.
Exactly.
So what is your question?
Go ahead. I'll let you finish. Have you heard of the 10,000 fillers in the bluff of Atlanta? 10,000.
Hold on. I'm looking it up right now. Never heard of them, never saw them. So where they at?
Yes.
And I've been here for 16 years.
And here's another thing, right? And here's another problem that I have as you search that up. We think because we don't see something that something's not going on. We ain't God. We don't see everything. It's stuff that you don't know going on your next street. It's somebody being mentored in a house that you can't even see because you don't live in their house. It's mentorship being done in a school in a counseling session. It's mentorship being done in churches, Baptist churches, mosques, and this is what we say we need and what conflict resolution. And just because we don't see it personally, it must not be.
Yeah, when I don't see we own our own plazas, when I see that we don't own our own apartment complexes, yes, nothing is changing. It's a fact. It's not changing. The same hood that I grew up in or whoever else grew up in a hood looks exactly the same 30 years later. It hasn't changed. That's a fact. People want to see change. They don't want to hear about it. They want to see it in real time. They want to be able to see that convenience store.
Okay, sis, give me an example.
Stop being owned by the Arab in the community, but owned by their black brother or sister in the community. That's what they want to see. They want to see that their rent could be stabilized because their black brothers and sisters understand they struggle and they own it, and it's not by the government or by a white man. That's what they want to see. The change. I keep talking about it's there, but it's not. I've been in Atlanta 16 years and I've never saw them once. I've never seen them once.
Your life. Give me an example of what you're speaking about. Use your life as an
change. What's the direct question? What I've done?
Give me an example of what you're talking about. People need to see done.
Okay, so
and use your life as an example.
I started a charity called Children Giving Back with my daughter in 2014. She was 7 years old at the time, right? And so what we saw was a lot of homeless people down a certain part of Atlanta, right? And I noticed that it wasn't a lot of children involved in that, right? And I know with children, because my daughter was in entertainment for a while, I know that with children, a lot of people don't like to tell children no. Right? And so I was like, okay, so a lot of people don't like to tell children no, and they think they're really sweet. I said, and my daughter was always giving her dollars and her shoes and her clothes to homeless. So I said, you know what, we should start a charity. And if more people see that a child is out here helping, it will enact more adults to begin to help out. So we started our charity. And we started doing that. And then we used to have every third Sunday in the major park of Atlanta until they shut us down with ordinances and stuff like that. We got a whole slew of people to come. They used to perform, used to get free haircuts. The barbers were giving haircuts. They had portable showers. We had clothes rack for them just to pick clothes. And we had like a big large dinner. Every third Sunday we were out there until the city shut us down. But we were out there every third Sunday. That is something that I did that affected change. It started with just me and my little old daughter who believed that she wanted to help the homeless people. And I felt like children would get involved and make more adults get involved. They saw us doing it, more adults got involved over and over and over again until we grew to this big thing where we did it every third Sunday. So that's an example. That's an example. Because it could have just been me and her handing out sandwiches. But it turned to over 100 people every third Sunday, and turned from us just giving out food, turning around just giving out clothes, to us actually feeding them all, to us actually getting them portable showers and haircuts and making them feel good and look better. We even had a young homeless, well, he wasn't young, he was older. An older homeless guy that gave his testimony and shared that he used to be homeless himself on the street, got cleaned up and ended up buying the convenience store and was motivated his other homeless brothers and sisters that they could do the same. And that wouldn't have happened if we hadn't started out and created this big thing, period. So that's one that I personally in my life showed change to other people and they got involved. But I don't want to make it about me personally. I want to make it about us as a whole.
I just wanted to answer to the question. So I heard feeding the homeless. You got the youth involved, which got the adults involved, right? All right. Here's a video from Atlanta. I'm gonna just let them speak because I don't want you to take my word for it.
What year is this?
So what year was you doing yours? 2014. This was I don't know what year this is. When they first opened up the 10,000 Fearless.
I started looking for a place, so that's when I came to the block, because now the 10,000 Fearless needed a headquarters. Yeah. We feed at least 150 to 200 every Tuesday and Thursday.
Hold on, I want y'all to hear what he said now. How many they feed and how often they do it.
We feed at least 150 to 200 every Tuesday.
And that look like the youth right there.
Okay, what are you doing comparing what I did compared to what they did? Oh,
no ma'am. I'm just sharing the action that you said you was looking for. I wanted to get an example of what the action was, because if I don't understand your example of what action is, we always gonna be on a different page. Now you said you wanted to see it, so now I want to show it.
Coach Wade, Reverend McDonald's is the chairman of the LOC. I'm the co-chair. He came over by a couple of hundred.
My name is Sister Lavonia Mars. We're 10,000 fearless men and women. I'm beginning to be one of them, 10,000. And one fearless lady. Brother Minister Sharif do have good disciples. I'm getting a little emotional right now.
It's all right.
Okay.
It's all right.
When they're not feeding with distributing our food, like I said, I have a tasty meal here now. You know, I'm getting emotional. It's a good program. It's a good program. I don't know, Miller. I don't know, Miller. Farrakhan taught Brother Sharif the right path and the right road to go, but he's learning and he's growing, and I wouldn't give nothing up for the 10,000 fearless men and women.
And that's what, and this is in the bluff of Atlanta.
In the 10,000 feelers, we're giving out the food to the community. We got chicken, rice, some string beans. We had an excellent day. We got more to come. Remember First Iconium Baptist Church under Reverend Timothy McDonald III, and he asked us to come over and volunteer when we can.
Well, I'll never forget. I'm the one that told these people how they were doing
Now, these are also
okay. I got you. So, are you doing a tick for tat? Because see, I was one. Wait, hold on. I was one person. Wait. I was one person that did something for the homeless. I'm not a nation collecting millions. There's a difference here. No, there's a difference.
Hold on. Wait. Let me finish. Let me close it up now. Let me wrap it up now. A lot of these people are not people from that's in the Nation of Islam that heard up 1 to 200 people every Tuesday. Now you said I never seen it, but that's why I wanted to show the video, because video documentation always beats conversation.
Wait, let me follow.
And I just want to share with us. Sometimes, like, it would be disingenuous for me. I never heard of your program. I never heard about it, even on social. I never heard.
No,
about
wait,
it.
wait, but you
But
said
that don't mean
wait,
you
you
doing nothing.
no,
That
but you
don't
don't
mean that
live
you
here.
wasn't
See, I
effective.
live here in Atlanta. I live here.
Sister, listen to
No,
what
I heard
I'm
you said you
saying.
never
Just
heard of
listen
my
to what
program,
I'm
and that's
saying.
fair.
Just
I
listen
live in
to me.
Atlanta. You live in a different state.
You're not
But if you
listening.
live here, you would
You're
see
not
my
listening
program. You would have
to me.
seen
You're
my
being
program.
combative. See, right now, sister, right now you
I
being
am,
right
because
now
what
you
you're
being
trying to do is
defensive for
compare
no
and
reason.
contrast,
I
and there's no
said I have
comparison.
not seen
Just
your.
yes, they helped a couple of homeless people. That's nice.
Wow. I hope y'all see this. I hope y'all can see this for y'allself. I hope y'all see it. I was not attacking you at all. I actually said I have not even seen it on social media, but that
agree
does
with
not
you.
mean, listen to me. Let me finish. Let me finish. What I said was that does not mean that you're not effective. That does not mean that you didn't do nothing. That does not mean that you didn't help people. So just because I haven't seen it doesn't mean you haven't done it. And it doesn't matter that I don't live in Atlanta. I can call 10, 20 people right now, and they could probably also say, I never heard of it. But does that mean you never done nothing? No, that would be unfair of us to say you haven't done nothing just because we haven't seen what I feel.
No, I'm not.
That's the only point that I was making. Let's be fair with each other. Just because we don't see
I've been
something
here
doesn't mean that it hasn't been done.
years.
That's all I'm
That's
saying.
almost 2 decades. You can't tell me what year that was made in. Like, I'm sure they would have seen us out there. You don't live, if I live here and I don't see it with my eyes when I'm out there on a constant basis, yeah, it's not happening. She said it's happening in just the Bluff. They do it just there in the Bluff, right? That's what she said, right? It's in the Bluff. You know where that is in Atlanta? I know. Do you know where that is? No, I'm asking you, because that's not where most of the homeless people reside. So I'm asking you, do you know where the Bluff is? It's a reason I'm asking you. I live in Atlanta. No, he didn't say 2014, I did. But I live here and I haven't seen it. I don't know how often they were doing it. I don't know when they stopped. They stopped us too. They definitely stopped us too. So that maybe they stopped them. I give it to you. And somebody said they live in Atlanta. So have y'all seen them out there? I definitely see the NOI brothers with the bean pies and the newspapers more than I see them in the community doing things like what you just showed me. It's my point. This part I see more of. This part I don't. And so we're going to get back to my main point. It wasn't about feeding the homeless and giving clothes. I was one person who was able to do that and get another 100 people to get behind me. That's one thing. But it's another thing when you're an organization and you're huge and you get millions of dollars of donations and you can go further than just feeding and clothing people. I did that out of my means. I was a single mother and I did that out of the money that I had in my own pocket. That's different than getting millions of dollars where you can affect larger change. And that's all I'm talking about. They're getting millions where they can affect the fact that these people never had to be homeless or get all hungry. If they build up the community, if they actually buy apartment complexes, they could even have bought the homeless shelter that they just shut down in Atlanta. That homeless shelter was up the block from where I used to do my events. They could have bought that from the government before it got shut down and people got displaced. That held women and children in there. So all I'm saying is all the millions that they have, they can do something a lot larger than just feeding people every Tuesday and Thursday, because I was able to do that. And at the time I was a single mom and I was only making $5.25 an hour. There's a big difference. That's what I'm saying. It's a big gap with the kind of leadership and power that the NOI has amongst them. That's all they're doing. We can actually be owning plazas and complexes that's strictly for us. We can help other mothers and fathers start their businesses they really want to start within our community. That's my point about my message on my video. So you want to go tick for tack about some homeless? I'm talking bigger than that. I was able to do that only making $15,000 a year. They're getting millions a year. What more can they do? It's my point. And then I'm not just putting on an NOI because I said we get together. We pool our resources together. We get many people to put $1 each. That's everybody. That's everybody. Not just the NOI. So I'm not pointing a finger at the minister at all. I'm saying you have this power. You have this voice. People will listen to you. So this time, show them with your voice. You're going to show them action. Look, we get together, it's $3 million. We got $3 million. We just bought that plaza that's to sell for $2.5 million. It's ours. We own it. Now, my brother, if you got a grocery store on the other side of town amongst the Jews, bring it over here to your people. We got the people here. We take another $3 million. We buy the apartment complexes on the side that's run down and beat up, and nobody wants to buy. It's just sitting there making the neighborhood look bad. We can actually buy that and rebuild it and own it. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. They have the means, the power, and the drive, and the eyes. It's time. It's now. And the response I got from the minister, it wasn't rude. It wasn't. He never called me disrespectful. He definitely. All he said to me was, this shows that the resurrection is soon to come. He said that where the sister is speaking and that she's here now. This is showing that the resurrection is soon to come. And I'm like, why soon to come? It could be now. We've been saying the resurrection is soon to come 60 years ago. It's now. There's no way that 60 years ago, I wasn't born yet. 30 years ago when they had their first launch, I was like almost 6 years old. It doesn't make any sense that I'm now 35 years old, almost 35 years old, and saying, well, we need to do it now. I should have been like, I'm living in it now. Thank you, NOI. Thank you, my Black brothers and sisters, for making sure we get our own communities. But I'm 35 telling the minister after 60 years of him speaking, let's do it. What are we waiting for? We spend $1.3 trillion a year. Black people spend 1.3, and you can use your computer and look it up. We spend $1.3 trillion a year. We have more than enough money to own our own communities. If the Asians could do it, and the Mexicans can do it, and the Jews can do it, we can do it.
In the last 365 days,
like I said, stop making it about me. Make it about the point. Stop making it about me. Make it about the point. Please.
Yeah. So we just gonna disagree here because the minister teaches us. But the minister teaches us that self-improvement is the basis of community development. So when we keep talking about we includes I and you make up the we. There's no way around it. When I have a basketball team, because I play basketball, the point guard has a responsibility. The shooter has a responsibility. The post has a responsibility. Each person is responsible for something. We can't tell coach, it's just about the hole. No, your butt didn't play defense. Your butt didn't run the play correctly. Your butt didn't set the screen. So I don't, and this is me, maybe I'm too young for this, but I don't get how for the past 7 years I've been looking at this and been exposed to this. We always say we, but we includes me. If I want we to have something, if I build it, sister, we have it. It is not wrong for somebody to say, Brother Ben, what are you doing? You should say that because I'm a part of my family. My family makes up the community. So the same way you can point and say the minister is wrong.
Listen, bro.
There's nothing wrong with me saying. Yes, you did say it.
He is wrong for not enacting change. You know what? He's wrong for not enacting change. All right. Like I said, it's been 60 years.
So stand on it.
60 years, you just talking.
So stand on it.
Millions and millions of dollars. Y'all keep building these mega mosques.
All right. And how young are you?
But you're not building up the communities. Time is now.
All right, sister. How young?
Change.
Oh, see, I can't even
change.
talk.
This
is why we can't come together. This why.
Yeah, we
can't
come together because you want to make it about me personally and not about what I said.
There's no discipline. I sat here nearly 5 minutes and let you talk, say whatever you want to say about the minister, what he should be doing, what he should have did, and I didn't say nothing. I stayed quiet. Now, when I talk, you just talking over me. How are we going to have a meeting and come together on common grounds and we can't even have a dialogue where we just let each other say our point? So that's why I keep saying, we keep talking about all this economics, spiritually, mentally, self-improvement wise, we're not ready for it. I had for 5 minutes and said, you know what, let me not even say nothing. I just let you go. I let you keep going and you kept going and you kept going. Now I'm trying to respond. I can't even get it out for 2 minutes straight.
Don't put words on. I didn't say that. So don't say I said that. That's what I hate. Don't do that. And that's what your video did, and that's what I didn't respect. Instead of commending what I said and promoting it to our people, like, look, maybe I need to bring this to the minister, maybe I need to bring this to NOI and show them her idea and see if they can sit down and talk with her. Instead, you made a commentary video on YouTube against it. That right there is the problem with our Black community. I'm saying something positive. I'm saying something about us getting together, working together, creating change for our community, and you talked against it. You talked about it negative. Instead of saying, let me band with my sister, maybe help her to understand that she might be misconstrued. Instead, you went for clickbait and you wanted people to hear your new single, so you used it to your own personal advantage. Instead of us saying, I want to build with her too, so we can build up all of our people. That's what you did with it. So that's why we're here now. Because you didn't commend it, you went against it as if it was something wrong I said about us putting our money together and doing group economics and building.
Okay, now watch this, y'all.
What's wrong with that?
Watch this, y'all.
Right?
Watch this. Now watch this. Watch this. Watch this, y'all. Listen. I went against what? Done sit up here and made a whole. First, you done cut me off again. But I'm wondering, I went against what on the podcast?
Oh, you want me to answer? All right, it's my turn.
Yeah.
Everything
I
you tried to shut it down. Listen, I'm a very intelligent woman. Yes, you did. You did try to shut it. You said, I like what she's saying. But no, wait. When you say but, when you say but, okay,
hold on.
Cut me up. You want me to answer? Wait, you want me to answer?
No,
but now
you didn't overtalk me enough.
When you say but, it negates everything before it.
No, we can't do this. I'm not allowed. No, I'm not allowing that to happen. You didn't overtalk me enough. You overtalked me enough. I don't let you overtalk me enough.
Interesting.
My only question
you did.
You went against
my message.
What?
You did. You went against my message. You did.
I went against
the message about group economics and getting our people together. All you did was focus on how I addressed the minister. Okay. You never addressed what I said.
You answered. You
okay,
answered
wait.
it. You answered the question.
You answered. When I answered it. I'm not done answering the question.
You just answered.
I'm not done
answering the question. Your message about group. You said I went against your answer.
It's not a lie.
Economics.
It's not a lie. You shut down my video. That's what you did. That's exactly what you did.
Sister.
Your entire response was to shut down my video and to gain clout from it for your single. That's what you did it for.
Listen, why?
That's why you did it. That is why you did it.
I didn't even know.
That is why you did it. But the point is, you're missing the bigger picture. That's what's wrong with us Black people. The bigger picture is help each other.
Listen,
that was the point of my message. Help each other.
Sister, listen. I didn't know.
But you knew that it was gaining recognition. Clearly. How did I? How was gaining recognition? And you knew that it was going to clickbait. When you hear me mention the minister's name and the fact that you say I'm disrespecting him, that's what you did. And then in your YouTube, you played your single 2 times so people can hear it. Yeah, you were promoting yourself.
And I should have played it 6 times.
And not the whole. We are not the same.
I might play it right now.
Care about the whole.
I should have played it 6 times. I'm gonna always promote me. I'm gonna always promote
anymore. I'm a very
that God is giving through me. That ain't no shame on me. Because just same way, if you got a job, if you going to your job Monday, listen, I gotta promote every day. Okay? Listen, with my uncles and everybody, they go to work faithfully. I do for self. So you best believe any creativity that's positive. I ain't talking about killing nobody. I ain't talking about robbing nobody. Every chance I get, I'm going to promote my creativity. So you is not throwing no shade on me by saying I'll promote my music. I was absolutely promote my music. Matter of fact, y'all go get the single right now. It's called Betrayal. It'll be good for your soul. Now back to this message that you said. You said I went against. You said I went against group economics. When it's proof in the video, that's not true. I actually said I appreciate that perspective, and I wasn't even responding to that. I was responding to your spirit towards him, acting like he was only a talker. I never went against group economics. I'm known. I know you don't know me. I don't care about that. I'm known for being one who is a part of group economics, helping people with group economics, helping people build their businesses, helping people get their stuff off the ground. Why would I be against that when that's what I do? So when you say something like, oh, you was going against my message. No, I wasn't. Why are you saying that? I never went against your message at all. I'm done. So all I'm saying is, in our community, just because we don't see something with our physical eyes, it does not mean it's not true. Just because we don't know all that the minister did or all that a pastor did. I don't want to keep it on a minute. It can be a pastor. It can be a regular community activist. Just because we don't see everything doesn't mean that it's done. It's some stuff that I done did behind the scenes that I wouldn't even say. I'll let the person say it. But just because you didn't see me do it doesn't mean it hasn't been done. So I close with that. So I get it. You addressed what my misconstrued is. I disagree with what you said my misconstrued is. I think I let you talk, and I'm going to end with this. If I did not let you say something and I cut you off, I'm going to give you 3 minutes and I won't say nothing because I don't want to leave this live and you get to making posts saying he didn't let me talk or he didn't do this. I'm about to close my mouth. We on my platform. Whatever you didn't get a chance to say,
okay.
So I'll
so you addressed it again the same way you addressed it in YouTube, even though you said that wasn't what you said. You said it again. You repeated it again. So out of the mouth speaks the issues of the heart. So with that being said, you said my spirit was wrong towards the minister. How was my spirit wrong towards the minister? So that's the question I'm gonna ask first. I want you to answer it real quick before I. Yeah.
All right. So I believe your spirit was wrong towards the minister because I believe, and this is just my personal opinion, you was talking at him as if he had made a mistake in his mission. I think that your idea of having 1 million men or all of our people put up something for economics is good. But the way that you went at him and talked about, you made it seem, and you've even done it live, so I don't think I'm wrong with what my assumption was, as if all he does is talk, which is what you said, and there's no action. So you came at him like, oh yeah, and Minister Farrakhan with you, and while you talking, like you talking to him as if he's your peer, he's your elder. Now I'm not saying that you can't check elders. I'm not saying we can't correct elders, but the spirit that we do it should be different. That's all I'm saying. And I don't think that your spirit was in the right place with addressing him. Do I agree with what you said about economics? Yes, but the spirit in which you came with the minister, not just the spirit, but you was actually wrong. You was wrong in trying to reduce him to just talking. It's just not true.
And so
that would be my
let me shut down the
question.
notion that everybody keeps saying my tone and the way I came at the minister was disrespectful, because that's not what he said to me. So with that being said, that's not what he said. He never even mentioned, oh, you're disrespectful. Your tone, sister, should have been better. He focused on the point. He said, sisters listening, and the fact that she's even speaking about this means a resurrection is coming. He never called me disrespectful. He never called me out of turn. He didn't say any of those things because he understood where it was coming from. I understand you did. But you see, it's funny thing is, y'all want to, always say, I'm under the minister. And this is how you talk to the minister. And this is wrong for the minister. But if the minister felt that way, the minister would have told me so. The minister did not tell me so. So therefore, y'all are out of line. Why don't you check in with the minister and maybe get on board with him since y'all follow him? Because he didn't feel that was. He understood the passion. He understood the urgency. He understood that I want this for my people. That it's not about little old me, but it's about all of us. He understood the goal. You see, in a lot of your YouTube, you moved the goalpost a lot. And if we was to replay the video, people could see how you kept moving the goalpost past what I said and turning it to something else. And even if you're saying that it's response to this or response to that, the reality is you start the video off about me. So anything that you say after that, people are going to attach it to what I said. And so what you should have done was clarify. And that's why I asked for this live. You were trying to do this live next week, Tuesday. And then I looked on and you're promoting the YouTube on the Instagram live. So I'm like, well, why we got to wait till Tuesday? We can talk about it now. You know, because the reality is you moved the goalposts and you got people away from. Everybody's caring about attitude, this and that. You worry about the wrong people want to talk about, oh, you wear the weave. Why are y'all not focused on the fact? No, I'm saying in the videos. No,
now you addressing. Hold on.
I'm saying people focus on all the wrong things and not the message. I'm gonna let you speak. But now you address. But now, hold on, wait. But now you address it. I never said nothing about all that. I know people in the comments are gonna say something. The reason I said I got 5 minutes because I have somewhere to go and I don't want to. Well, you already kind of checked it on
the important
something else.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna go live after this, you guys.
I just want to make this point. I never said anything about you personally. I never called you out your name. You called me a peon and all that type of stuff. I never even went there with you. So all I'm saying is I'm trying to let you get out whatever you need to get out, but can we please let the weed comments and all that, that's them. Go comment back to them after this live. I just want to make sure that after, you know, while we doing this live, you get out whatever you want respectfully that may have been missed about the solution, about what was misconstrued, but other people comments, I never said that. So let's just get on what I said or whatever you want to get to the people about your solution.
Like I said, my solution is we have 18 cities with 3.3 million, 1 to 3.3 million of us. We're going to do an 18 city tour. And I'm saying we're going to, because I'm not one for talk. We're going to do an 18 city tour. And we're going to get our people together. So if you want to give more than $1, that's on you. But I'm only asking $1 because nobody's going to miss $1. Because in his YouTube, he said that what you're going to give people $10,000. What the people going to worry about what you're doing with $1 million? No, nobody's going to worry about what happens to $1. That's why I start with $1 because $1's not missed. You understand? But see, instead of just taking your $1 and buying a mansion, I would take the $1 or the 3 million that come together and buy a plaza and show you we own it and show you the actual deed to the business. And show you what we're actually doing. Not give you a piece of paper on audit and said we did something, but show you the building with your real eyes that you could come visit. See, that's the difference. That's the difference. And so if Beyonce can do a freaking 30 city tour in America, we can do an 18 city tour and pool our resources together and start building communities one by one. So even in my video, when I said 6 million, not 6 million going to buy a whole community. That's a start. If you heard me say in the video, I said, that's a start. We got to start somewhere. And it's possible. I'm here in Atlanta. There's literally a plaza for sale in Stone Mountain for $6.5 million. And across from it is a apartment complex for $1.5 million. Right there, if that's what, 6.5, 1.5, $8 million right there alone, we could own the complex across the street plus the plaza, meaning any business where they're owned by Asians, where they're owned by Spanish people at the current time, they have to pay that rent to us. We own it. That's a start. I know where to find all of these low income and these places that they have on auction blocks and all this stuff for sale in every city. I've done the work. So I said, when I'm done with this live, I'll go live on mine and I'll start pulling it up for y'all and show y'all in real time what I'm talking about. And we don't have to live in the rural areas. We don't have to do what Hereafter Farms is doing and go buy land all the way in West Bubble. We don't have to do that. We could be right here in the inner cities because the white people are buying houses in our inner cities for the low. That's what they're doing. We can do it.
Let's get away from what we not going to do in the churches and all these different organizations that's not doing it right. Can we please focus on what we going to do and let's stay moving forward? I don't want no church, no organization. Let's not mention them. Let's just talk about what we're doing moving forward. Because you adding in all the shots and stuff like that. Let's just keep it on what the mission is. Why we can't just leave out the shots, leave out the little slick stuff, and come on, just move forward what the solution is.
Let's stop. When somebody like me, it don't have to necessarily be me per se, another brother, another sister who comes forward and says, look, I'm tired. Y'all haven't done enough. We've been waiting and waiting and listening and waiting. And now it's time, comes forward and makes a reel or a YouTube video or sit there on a podcast or speaks or makes a song. Don't shut it down because you're mad at it. Be with it, especially if it's a good plan. Promote it to your people so it can get around to more people in a positive light. So it can get done. Because all they're going to see is me and you at odds. That's what the other coaches see. Oh, yeah, niggas can't get together. Because look at them, at odds. You understand? We got to stop doing that. That's why I was so irritated. I said, why would he do that?
Why didn't you have that spirit with the
together? You're doing the divide. It's not the other culture dividing us. It's you dividing us.
Why did you have that spirit with the minister? Then why did you have
what spirit? There's nothing wrong with my spirit. That's what's wrong with you. You're reading a spirit on me because you want to read something. I could say your spirit is selfish. Your spirit is selfish. You use this moment to get a few clicks and let people hear your song. That was for self. I'm talking about a hole in my reel. I'm talking about all my black people.
All right. Why did you minimize the minister to just speaking and leave out everything else? Why did you minimize the minister to just speaking and leave out everything else?
To a part of an hour-long podcast. No, hold on.
Why did you leave out the minister on your clip?
It's a clip to a part of my podcast. That when I said while you're sitting there talking, minister, if you was to actually watch the full clip that's on Farrakhan alone on my podcast, and you can click it on YouTube at the minute mark. Yeah. If you was to look at it, I'm talking about when he sat down, he got in front of cameras, and he sat down and talked about the Kyrie Irving thing. Because I also Wait, hold
And
on. I also
you knew
saw
what
on
you
the
was
Kyrie
doing with
Irving
that
thing.
clip,
So
right?
when I saw the minister speak on the Kyrie Irving thing, I saw him get his cameras right. Everything was looking good. He was looking good. He was talking pot. I like what he was saying about us being the Hebrews and that Kyrie wasn't wrong. Hold on. But what I said was because
why didn't you
I
say
said
that?
while you're
Why
sitting
didn't you
there
promote
talking,
that?
it basically was saying I'm getting your attention because now we got. Wait, hold on, bro. Are you going?
Why didn't you promote that on your Instagram? Why didn't you promote? Then you just say, "Well, I wouldn't shut this down. I'll push the plant." Why didn't you promote what you agree with on your Instagram?
I have 2 pages. I have a pod page too. That's not my pod page. But first of all, because my focus was the group economics plan. I don't have to say. I can't post a 5-minute clip.
Why didn't you promote the good? You just told me. If you see something, why shut that down? You should be trying to lift it up. You just said there was some stuff that the minister said that you agreed with.
While you're sitting there, Farrakhan, because I was referring to him speaking on Kyrie, because it means I got your attention now. You're out in the forefront speaking again, but you're speaking about Kyrie's issue. Kyrie's issue is not a full-on black issue. It's not. Let's talk about something bigger.
Why didn't you put what you agreed to?
And that's group economics.
Okay, why didn't you do what you just told me to do about the minister? Why didn't you do what you just told me to do about the minister?
It's on YouTube.
Why didn't you do what
it's
you
on YouTube.
told
It's
me
on
to do
TikTok.
about the minister?
It's on YouTube. It's on my podcast
you do what
page.
you told me to do?
It's on YouTube, TikTok, and my podcast page. On my podcast page is on Instagram. It's on Instagram.
Why didn't you do what you
It's on
told me to
Instagram.
do about the minister?
What part of your message had anything to do with any positivity, any solutions for our community? No. Answer the question. What part of what you had to say against me had anything to do with our community? At the end of me saying, Farrakhan, while we got your attention, listen up. This is what we need to do together. This is what we need to do together.
Why
because I was focused on my people.
Why didn't you tell me
that? What's
why
wrong
didn't you
with
tell
you?
me that? Why didn't you do what you told me to do
Like,
about
what's
the
wrong
minister?
with you? How are you missing the
Why
message?
Didn't you do what you told me to do about the minister?
Because you act like you don't realize what I said in the video.
No,
you don't understand what I said in the video.
Why didn't you do what you told me to do with the minister?
You can't possibly. No.
Now you gotta overtalk me. You gotta overtalk me and be petty. You probably
35. Don't disrespect me.
You shouldn't be acting like that.
Don't disrespect me.
That's
don't disrespect me.
I'm in my 20s. I wouldn't say you look old. I'm just saying you said what you've been doing all these years. I'm just only assuming. I'm not talking about how you look. I'm talking about how long you've been saying you've been around. But I'm still in my 20s, so that's why I said that. Now, back to my question.
I'm not 50.
Okay. Sorry about that. Back
if
to
you
my
in your 20s, what would be double?
Okay, you're right. Okay, you're right. Okay, I apologize. That's not what I meant. I'm thinking I'm still 20. So listen, what I'm saying is, why didn't you do to the minister what you telling me to do? Point out the part that you agree with and magnify and promote that.
Why didn't you do that? Power over there, bring it over here with us and pull it together. That's a positive that he has that power. I don't have that power. I don't have that power
that was
yet.
you. That was
I don't
you
have
trying
that
to be
kind
funny.
of power yet.
That
but
was you trying to protect him.
That he can help our people. So
that
that's
is
not
positive. That was you trying to check him. That was you trying to check him, saying,
well, that's how you took it. That's not how he took it. That's how you took it. That's not how he took it.
You know
that's how you took it. That's not how the minister took it. Isn't that crazy? That you got this feeling, but you follow him. You can't tap into the right spirit because clearly his spirit,
Listen, you can try
his spirit understood my spirit and my passion when I spoke.
You can try this divisive thing. Listen, the minister listening for your. I don't already addressed that part. The minister didn't address your spirit. I'm addressing it. Okay.
And you're wrong.
The minister addressed. Okay, this sister, she got this plan. I'm with that. That's what the minister said. God's still working on me. Right? What I heard. Okay, I'm gonna admit it. I'm small. Yeah, I'm imperfect. I'm still growing. So what I heard was you going after the minister when you say you got all that power over here when you should be doing over here. And to me, I know what that means, and everybody watching know what that means. The minister, he gonna pull out the good.
No,
I'm gonna get there.
Bullcrap.
I'm also knowing, and let me tell you why I believe what I felt was right, because on this call, you have made statements new about the minister that validates what I thought you were saying over here. You tried to reduce them on this live.
You say he was just a messenger.
But I was, no, that's not all
he does. So that is what you was trying to say over here. And
you said he was just a messenger. I just followed through with what you said.
Went into detail on the live. You said more things about him that you didn't say over there on the live, which confirms what I thought your spirit was.
Don't confirm my spirit. So like you said, God's still working on you. So therefore, you can't hear him and connect with the spirit that's connected with me, with God, unfortunately.
All right.
So he's still working on you. That you,
yes, ma'am.
You're not a discerner of spirits, clearly.
Anything.
So maybe you shouldn't do that.
Yes, ma'am.
Give it to somebody who's a discerner of spirits.
Yes, ma'am.
And they could dissect what my spirit meant.
My opinion.
Exactly. So then
I'm not a spirit reader. That's just what I feel. That's just what I feel. That's what I feel. Yes, ma'am.
I would like
anything that you would like to close off with?
Listen, because he went all around because I gave you I want to break down the blueprint. I want to actually show y'all the properties in different cities. I want to show y'all statistics on how much money we spend a year. I want to show you how many millions of Black people there are in every city and how we can actually do this. So I actually want to show y'all the research and the things that I put together to make this happen. That's what I want to do.
If they want to, got it. If y'all want to follow her and let her tell y'all that, you can do that on her page. Go check out her podcast if that's what you want to do. But we won't have the time necessarily to do it now. Now, I will say this. I tried to say, let's do it next week. We would have had plenty of time. No. She made it. Hey, I want to do it now because I was live streaming something from last night, and she was making comments about let's just do it now.
So I said, you are 20-something years old. You should say what you did.
Explain that I was.
You posted the video of me on your live stream.
I can't do this. I can't keep doing it. You can't keep cutting me off. I let you finish, and I'm trying to close out. Now you cut me off. You just gonna have to be mad at me at this point. I think I was more than fair. I let her speak. I gave her 3 to 5 minutes to close. I'm trying to respond and close out to explain to y'all that, hey, I was trying to do this Tuesday so that she could share whatever she wanted to share. But she kept saying in the comments, well, you live now. You live and you just said, why we gotta wait till next week? Well, all right, let's just go live on Instagram then. Forget it. We ain't gotta do it like I wanted to do it. That's all I was trying to tell y'all. But here we go again. I'm getting over-talked. And this is and I'm kind of glad this happened. And y'all can see it for yourself. So y'all won't think, oh, he picking on. I was respectful. She called me a peon. She called me this and that. I didn't call her no names. This y'all, is why in our community, self-improvement, mentally and spiritually, we have to overcome. We have to grow past this stuff we saying. She done said some stuff about think about this. She literally said, oh, the money was used to go build this Chicago compound. When if we look at AP, what she brought up, it tells you what the expenses was and what the income was and that it was in debt. She brought that up. I didn't bring it up. So I said, pause. Let's go get the receipts. Then when I got the receipts and showed y'all the receipts, it was, well, I ain't talking about that right now. Let's move past that. So this is what I'm saying. If we can't even have civil dialogue with one another, it's hard for us to talk about 6 million easy, 8 million, 10 million. Yeah, we just gonna buy this and yes, that sounds good in the perfect world, but it's so many things and so many barriers we gotta get through once the money is raised. Hell, shoot, we gonna have to spend $1 million just on counseling. Maybe have to spend 4-5 million just on conflict resolution because we can't have a civil dialogue with facts. We can't even have a dialogue without throwing shots. Sister, what's the blueprint? What's the plan? I'm gonna let you get it out. While we talking, we gotta throw shots over here, throw shots on what we shouldn't do, what we not gonna do. Dang, we not talking about what's not productive. I'm trying to give a chance to just tell them what the blueprint is. I don't know too many people that's gonna allow you to come on their platform and say, hey, you just talk your stuff. If I really had evil intentions, I would have said, no, I ain't finna bring her on my platform. I ain't finna people see her on Instagram, go follow her. If I really had some evil intentions, I wouldn't have reached out and said, hey, let's go live so I can allow you to respond. If I had some evil intentions, but man, when we come on and we want to throw shots and, you know, come on, man, that's what I'm saying. And again, and I may be wrong, about this, that maybe it's just, we just throw a bunch of money at us and the money will solve everything. Maybe that's what it is. But I just don't believe that, man. I have personally seen I have personally, I don't like talking about myself because that's not what this is about. I'll just say this. I've personally seen people given opportunities, money, and that didn't solve it. It actually magnified it and made it worse because the self-improvement that was needed wasn't there first. Money is only going to magnify who we really are. And I've been a part, I've seen myself, $1 million companies, done been a part of them. But because of stuff behind the scenes, mentally, weak beefs and weak disputes shut down the whole damn business, shut down the whole organization that was good. Because of individuals couldn't even get on meetings. You know, it take meetings to run businesses. It take meetings to sustain millions of dollars. I've seen where we couldn't even get people on meetings. Multiple organizations I've been about. I don't want to say now. I don't want to talk. I'm too busy. When we dissatisfied, when we disappointed, don't want to talk it out. Don't want to talk directly to the person. Don't want to just lay it out. I've seen it myself. I'm not just talking. So, hey, that's just my perspective and what God has allowed me to experience and see. And I just know from hand, I've seen millions of dollars, man. Like I ain't just did no, I'm not bragging. I ain't seen no just $10,000 business. I've seen a lot of money. But all that money was not, I mean, it was worth nothing because spiritually, mentally, and self-improvement wise, we wasn't strong enough together to sustain it. So we lost it. It failed. It's just a fact. I'm not talking about what I read in the book. So you can say peon and all this type of stuff. Listen, I don't respond to that. People call me all the time, and people done lied on YouTube, said I want to kill their children. People say all kind of crazy stuff all day long. So I'm not gonna respond to that. I look past the name calling and all that crazy stuff. I know who I am. God know who I am. I ain't that. People used to tell me my nose big, lips big. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care. They used to tell me my nose like a shotgun nose. So I smell real good too. I can smell what the rock is cooking. Smell what mama and them cooking. I'm glad I got this an original man nose. See, back in middle school, they were trying to talk about me. Well, your nose big. Then when I got a look now, I said, oh, this is an original man nose. So people been talking, people gonna say what they gotta say. I ain't worried about the names and all that there. But we gonna get down to the principles. I may not be able to be the best at spirit, but man, I know principles when I hear principles, man. Principles is universal. No matter if I'm Christian, Muslim, Hebrew, Israelite, Moorish, American, whatever, principles is the same. So thank you all for listening. I hope, I hope that the sister plan eventually works. I do think that it's not going to be just as easy as she says. And this is not me downing her. I think it's a great idea. I agree with the minister if he did say that the revolution is coming soon. The fact that we even thinking like that we want to see that's good. But I've also heard the minister myself talk about a spiritual resurrection is what's needed. I've heard the minister talk about the cross, the upright line, the vertical line, and the horizontal line, and how the vertical line in a cross is longer than the horizontal, which represents the economics and material things, because we have to be morally and characterly and that's probably not even the word. Our character got to be straight. Our morals got to be in line to sustain the land that we get, to sustain the business that we get, to sustain and keep the money that we get. We got to be here first to manage it. Hey, that's white folks who talk about that. Every millionaire book we get, go read Think and Go Rich. Go read Millionaire Mind. All of them talk about mentally. All of them have talked about giving examples how people can be given $10,000, and if they're not prepared for it mentally, they find a way to lose it. I've been a part of that, where I wasn't mentally prepared for something. I got 100,000 here, 50,000, and then come to find out, hell, I don't know where I done spent it because I wasn't mentally ready for it. It'll find a way to get out of my hands. It's not no magic abracadabra. It's real. There's a lot of stuff that, man, you got, oh man, I ain't gonna go there because I gotta go. But I'm just, venting right now because I finally can speak without being interrupted. But man, listen, go back over this live again. I pray that the sister develops a blueprint that works for our people. If it's for our people, I'm with it. Whether if you in the nation or not. In the nation or not. I'm just saying, man, don't come after my minister like that as if he's done nothing when what he's done is a key component to why we're here today and is a part of the consciousness that we even have to even think those thoughts. I don't know if we realize that, man. He's a part of resurrecting that type of consciousness and knowledge that came back into our people to where now we 35, 20 something to even think that way. He's a part of keeping those teachings alive and well. So come on, man, don't try to talk to him like he, I'm not saying you can't correct somebody who's an elder, but hey, man, come on do it with the right spirit. That's like you going after your mama, you trying to talk about man, she gave you life, man. I know minister done talked about this, so I say it like this. That men, your mother and father, they gave you life. So you always respect them. Give a damn what they did wrong. You can address it politely, but man, you stay in the child's place. And I'm not saying she needs to stay in her place. That's not what I'm saying. So don't misconstrue what I'm saying. I'm just bringing a point. Man, your mother and your father gave you life. If it wasn't for them, you wouldn't even be here. So for that alone, show some respect. Because I know some of well, my mama wasn't that good. My mom, yeah, but at the end of the day, if it wasn't for her, you wouldn't even be here. So still be grateful. It ain't gonna never be enough. And we ask our children, right? Am I enough now, mama? I want a little bit more time. Now, daddy, I need a little bit more time. We may be thinking we giving away. Well, dad, I really want a little bit. We always gonna want more. Hell, I want more. But that don't mean we start getting, as my mama used to say, that don't mean you start smelling yourself. And we come at each other. All I'm addressing was the spirit. Just come with the right spirit. The minister ain't never said don't critique him and don't say nothing back to him. He ain't never been no dictator like that. And we not like that either. We want y'all to give your response on the teachers and share, but it's just that spirit. Cause we got our thoughts about Christianity. We got our thoughts about stuff too. So we not saying we off limits, nigga. You better not say nothing. No, come on, man. We don't try to, I done seen people in the comment section trying to paint that picture like, oh, if anybody got an opinion, they going, no, that ain't what this is. But at the same time, we can't allow, the way in which you do it. And if we say something wrong in the wrong way, then you correct us. We all got growth to do. So thank y'all for listening, fam. I'm out.